Hello, everyone. This is Thomas Pepin, NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin, and let's play some NHL. Continuing the franchise mode series, where I'm responsible for the expansion Houston Aces. We're on season 1, episode 10, just starting the off season after having lost in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Um, I mean, for an expansion franchise to get to the final and to get to game seven is pretty stellar, but unfortunate to lose that game seven. Um, Anyways, so where we left off last stream, I had tried to do um, the trades to get the first overall pick, but as I've said before, from this time limitation, it can be extremely difficult to pull off the trades in the time limit without giving up far, far too much. And of course, that's very, in my opinion, unrealistic to be on a 3 minute time limit to pull off a huge trade, where in the real NHL, you'd have days before. Um, as soon as the playoffs would be done, you'd be able to pull off trades. Like there's no limitation. Even during the playoffs, technically, you could pull off trades. It's just if you're still in, then obviously uh, you wouldn't want to get rid of players that are currently playing in the playoffs. But anyways, so given that it's unrealistic, the thing that I do, which you could argue is cheating, but I disagree because I think it's just a um, something wrong with the game. So I just go back and do the draft until I get the trade that I want, and then uh, proceed as normal because, like I said, that's more realistic than the way the game sets it up. So, anyways, so what I said I would do is off stream, I would figure out the trades that I needed to make, um, rather than you watching me attempt and reattempt and reattempt and reattempt. So I went through everything and figured out the trades that I need to do to get the first overall pick, which even in the time limit assigned, even knowing what you're going to do, is like barely enough time. So, anyways, it's a little bit ridiculous, this game with some features, but um, anyways, so I'm set up and I won't really be able to talk or do anything other than just zoom through these trades because I have to pull off 3 trades, and then finally the fourth trade is to get the first overall pick. So, anyways, that's the story, and uh, let's get to it. So first, I need to go pick up the Calgary first pick. And for that, I need to do Jenner, Carrier, and Dubé. And then because of roster spots, I need to take on, I think, 3 players. So I take on expiring contracts of guys that I'm not going to sign. So that one's good. But whoops, now we need to go to Buffalo. We want their first for 10th, 30th. Bouchard, Brown, then we need Boston, their first for Pepin Can. Stanley. Oh shoot, I messed up. I forgot about a piece of the other trade. Ah shoot, I gotta do it again. Whoops. As soon as I saw, oh, I need to add this to this um, trade, then I realized I missed something. So I was supposed to get a third back from Calgary. So my bad. Uh, well, I guess on this note, since I have time to get back to it, yeah, I went through all these trades so I don't get overly screwed on the trades. So in some cases, I give up slightly too much, but I thought it'd be fair to not make it necessarily perfect. All right, let's do this again. Jenner, Carrier, Dubé. Before I forget, I think it's that third, if I'm not mistaken. Kaiser. There we go. Now, Buffalo. For 10th, 30th. Boston. First four. Might as well add it now. Third. Pepin non Stanley. Hosang. And then fourth, seventh, eighth, 12th, and Dodson. Sweet. Okay, so as you can see, I only had 30 seconds left, and um, it could put through the pick within those 30 seconds at any time. So I barely, like, this is why I did it off stream, because then you can prepare and stuff. If I tried to do that, figure that out on stream, like I know it took me like a couple hours, I think, to figure out the right mix of stuff. Because so none of the guys that I traded, um, might as well just do the pick now. None of the guys that I traded are critical, but there's some guys that I had originally planned to keep. Um, and then if I tried to do this in the time limit without like having practiced in any way or attempted previously in any way, I would have had to have given up like guys like Lindholm, other guys that are core guys that I had no plans to get rid of. So, anyways, so I got rid of a whole bunch of assets that weren't critical. They're all replaceable. Um, and to be honest, they actually didn't play that well with us anyways. So, um, yeah, so to have to give them up to get what we got, it's no big deal. One thing about Bedard, though, um, I might as well show here. So, what I forgot is that his balance and endurance and strength are all below what I want for a player. And then, really, um, yeah, anyways, so he could develop into really good. And I think in the previous franchise mode, he did develop well, but things like balance and endurance and strength never changed. Um, so originally, I thought the plan was to keep him, but actually, I'm going to turn out trading him. I've rethought that strategy. So, um, yeah, the other noticeable thing is that he's 79 overall. 17, yeah. So I mean, like, we have time for him to develop, but it's not a great starting off point, in my opinion, versus like what I've seen in the past for franchise players. So it's I guess a different case where I'm actually going to not keep him and then use him as an asset to get things that are more in line with what I want. And it'll allow us to get more of what I want. So, um, yeah, so anyways, just wanted to mention that as something. So now we should have no picks, and as a result, don't need to hang out in the draft and can continue with the off season. So there we go. All right. Don't think we're gonna. Oh, I think we had one coach retire. I don't know what coach they were, but I think there might have been one coach that we keep, like a goalie coach or whatever. But we'll have a look at that. Okay. I guess I actually, you know what? Just in case there's some sort of issue with the stream, I'm gonna keep up all the. No, I don't need to. I'll just save. I was gonna say I was gonna keep up all the trades that I have to pull off to um, get the first overall pick, but why not just save? Okay, now I can erase those. I'm always worried that one of the save points is gonna screw up and glitch, and then you have to go back further in the past. Um, so far, it hasn't happened, but okay, so that's erased. Another thing I should say, so um, while I was prepping for this stream, I went and I scouted a bunch of players that I'm going to trade for or sign. So I already have that stuff set up, so it should be quicker some of this off season versus having to do that on stream. So um, yeah, thought I'd mention that. Okay, so what do we need to do now? So we need to extend players, coaches, and scouts. I don't think we have any scouts that we need to extend. No. Coaches. So we have him for any more years? We have him for one. Okay. Veterans coach. Oh yeah, because we were stuck having to extend, sign these guys to longer than we wanted just to be able to get coaches. Um, yeah, and I think the other guys were getting rid of. He's not bad, but we can get him in free agency if we need him. Oh, and generalists we don't need. Goalie coach. Yeah, again, so for all these coaches, if we need to get them in free agency, then that's what we'll do. So I don't need any of them. Okay, so coaches are done. Now we need players. So sign him. He wasn't good, so we can release him. I think Simon was good. Good enough, so if he wants two-way, we'll keep him. Does do 2 years. I forget if this guy was good. He was. He's really old though. Um, huh. Is he gonna go down enough where? Yeah, I don't think. Oh, Andy wants one way, so that makes it very easy. Kaiser. We got him for, well, free-ish. Oh, he's defensive. Carpenter, same story. Played pretty well. Mm, he also wants one way, so that's an easy call. I think Brooks was not good. Yeah, 21 and 64. He probably wants one way, I'm guessing, too. Yeah. Yeah, and then so Thornton, no matter how good he is, he's too old. I don't want to play around. Same with Boyle. I think he was good. If he wants two-way, we'll keep him. Does. So we will. He was good enough. He wants two-way, but only 1 year. That's fine. I think he was bad. Yeah. So him, we just qualify. He was also bad. We just qualify. So when I say just qualify, qualify and trade. Just so we don't lose them for nothing, we can still use them as an asset to trade. Same with him. He was good, wasn't he? Nah, not even. And him, he was no good either. So we're going to trade all those guys we just qualified. The other handful of guys that we signed, and then I don't think there's anybody else. I didn't realize how many UFAs we have coming up. So we're going to have a lot of work to do. Signing and keeping cap space and all that stuff. Okay, goalies. Reimer. 2.4. We can't pay that much for a goalie. I don't want him to go for nothing. Mind you, as an asset, I don't think he was worth that much anyways. Yeah, we're just gonna have to let him go. Well, maybe this guy develops into a starter as it says for potential. That would be nice. But I don't think in the offseason he's going to get to 80. Probably not. You never know, actually. So we could have three goalies already. But otherwise, we'll need to get somebody else. That's it for goalies. That's it for players. I think we're all good. And of course, everybody should accept what we offered. Why would we want to? I hate how it makes its decisions on what we should get rid of. I have no idea. This was yeah, it was once. But again, like the trade block, I don't use to actually do anything. I do trades when I want. Otherwise, no trades. Okay, now we've got a bunch of sorting out to do. Well, first, I guess what I'm going to do is, I guess, pull off the trades to give us greater certainty of our cap space and stuff. So, trade Bedard. And so I've already scouted who I think I'm going to trade for. I'll have to go through the trades to figure it out, but um, so Hughes was the best performing young guy. Um, so we're going to go for him. Now, in this case, so whenever you have some guy that's way higher trade value, in particular franchise guys, um, you can get way more than you expect back. Uh, that being said, in this case, so we're from the guys that I think I'm going to pick up, um, we're going to be starting to get tight to the cap. So we're going to have to, in particular, when we have higher trade value, really try to save on the cap hit. So, in other words, get them to retain salaries. So, um, anyways, we'll see what else we can get. Um, it's close to equal. So I'll put more than the value, because like I said, sometimes it'll still go through. And we'll try retention, and then we might have to adjust the um, so let's just start at the top. Um, yeah, we'll have to adjust the salary retention to what was I saying? So, okay, sorry. So I might have to eliminate assets and adjust salary retention in order to get something to go through. So I don't know exactly what the combination is going to be. And the one thing I've was just thinking about is, which is why I put the trade value higher and am doing the retention. I wonder if there's just a limitation on what they're willing to retain, and it's not really the trade value. So, like, let's say the max still retain is $1 million. So I thought maybe the $1 million, like going above that, just means higher trade value. But what if it's just the max that they're willing to retain? And then once you hit the amount they're willing to retain, then you can still get extra assets with it rather than it being like the full value of what they'll accept. So, anyways, long story short, I'm just going to attempt more with retention, and then if I need to adjust, then that's going to kind of answer that question. Because before I didn't pay specific attention to that, so I don't know. And then so I don't know exactly what they'll retain, but I want to have it at so maybe 1 million minimum is what I want them to retain. Because if he's in the 7 millions, I think that's too high. So yeah, based on how it's going so far, I have a feeling the salary retention does have, well, like it obviously has trade value, but it seems like there's not necessarily a maximum. Okay, so then how are we gonna do this? So we'll do ballpark equal. And yeah, my priority is the salary retention over the assets. So if we need to have no assets coming with them, then that's fine. And it's tough because you have no idea exactly what they're willing to accept. Okay. Um, you know what? Let's just try it this way. So I was going to work down from the first to other assets, but since it's already been rejected, clearly we weren't going to be close at any point. And to be honest, I think I would rather um, them retain more salary than get any assets back. So um, I don't know what my cutoff point is going to be though. It's 1.1. Should I just get rid of the first completely and try retention? Because I mean, yeah, because if it turns out being 3 million, much rather that than a first round pick. Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't again work down from first to second, do all this all over again. So like I know I've seen this before, but clearly salary retention really has a lot of value because we probably could have gotten 2 first round picks without any salary retention. Wow. So again, 1.1 is kind of the cutoff point. $1.7 was it? So that means we have Hughes for 6.3 is pretty good. Um, Clearly, uh, yeah, salary retention has a lot of value, but The other thing to keep in mind, that's 6.3 for 7 more seasons. So I guess maybe when you consider the contract duration plus the salary retention, like they're taking on actually a lot. I didn't really think about it that way. So yeah, well, that's fine. That's the best we could do, I guess. Now let's go save actually. Now I can erase that trade. All right, so next thing, so another thing I was thinking about, and then also because of what we got rid of in order to get Bedard for the first round pick, I guess. Um, we no longer have many of our defensemen. So we have four of our top six, and we had seven. So, hi, gaming boys. Thanks for tuning in. Um, and then the other thing, so we need to get defensemen. The other thing is Power only had 17 points in 67 games. So I feel like what's the point per game rate actually? 17, because it's a shortened season from injuries. Divided by 67 is 25. Yeah, that's still well below. We'd want him to be like 50%. So I just don't trust that he's ever going to get up to the productivity that I want. And so, anyways, as a result, another person I scouted already for a trade would be Hughes. So he's 3 years older, under contract for 4 more years. Trade values less, I believe. So I'm going to try to get them to retain salary, and then um, the problem. So I don't like to spend so much money on a defenseman, but he's still within range. Considering we were willing to pay 5 million for some other guys that were like a quarter of a point per game, like Power. So um, I think in this case we will try salary retention as well. I was just thinking, should I throw in? Um, Actually, you know what? Let's postpone this one because there's another trade I wanted to do first. Or there is another trade I wanted to do, and I should do it first because I don't know what I'm gonna have to give up to the trade. So during the previous season, I spoke about wanting to get Robertson. I think because of they don't even want Forsberg. Um, might have to give up more. And this is why I'm doing this one first. So, anyways, I spoke about wanting to get Robertson. Robertson produced, what is it, 72. Forsberg produced 73. Robertson's younger, 23 versus 28. And then also, um, Robertson's a sniper, whereas Forsberg is two-way. So I just think that the fit's going to be better. So I'm going to go for Robertson instead of Forsberg. And then all the rest of our forwards I didn't want to get rid of. So Connor, obviously not. Goudreau, not. Cap hit's a bit high for Goudreau, but we got him for a long time, so it's actually going to turn out being okay. Lindholm is way too cheap. We can't get rid of him. Same with Gensel. Um, Mind you, those guys, I don't know what they want to extend for, so that's something we'll have to figure out. But at the very least, we know we want Robertson, so Um, we'll find a way to get him. What are we going to have to give up? I think we're going to have to give up more. Let's try 1-for-1. Do they want any of our other guys that we want to get rid of? No. Oops. I'll just skip forward one anyways. Yikes. I hope we don't have to give up a first with Forsberg and get nothing back is what I mean. Uh-oh, it's not looking too good. If I can't pull it off with my assets, then um, yeah, then I might have to wait till mid-season or something when I have some other stuff to trade away. Wow. Okay, so now it says that we're close. Probably the fourth pick, I'm guessing. Okay, well, apparently not the fourth pick. Third pick? What? 6 and 7? Did we have? Oh, we have those RFAs. Maybe they want some of them. Not him, not him. Okay, well, I guess not. Yikes. Still, it's not the end of the world. We got what we wanted. Um, Still have some assets left to trade for other stuff. We wanted Robertson, so done. Okay. Um, Save that, and then we'll go do the other Hughes trade. So we want Hughes. Oh, whoops. Power. We'll try to see if they'll retain some salary and then go from there. So I'm starting way too high, I know that, but it's better to figure out the max than it is to just gamble and do lower. And in this case, I don't know if they'll actually retain anything. We might even have to trade more because they don't want to trade them away. So even though I think our trade value is higher, or it could turn out being 1-for-1. Like I said, we'll see. I think I'll stop at 900,000 because if you can get him under 7, that's good enough for me. If not, then I don't think it's worth it. Okay. Um, so what else do I have for picks? Okay, so there were other guys I was gonna trade for. Maybe I trade for them first, and then whatever assets I have left is what I'll use to try to get them to retain salary. They don't even want picks is the problem. They don't want any of our players that we don't want. Well, there's nobody that we're getting rid of actually. So I guess let's go get the other guys. So there's 2 defensemen. I don't know what their trade values are, but I don't think they're high. So there's Weidman from Winnipeg. Trade value is pretty low. How many years left did he have? So yeah, and basically when I was scouting the guys, I looked through number of points they had compared to their cap hit, and like he had 21 points, which is more than Power even. So what's the point in even having Power versus Weidman? And like the trade value is obviously like very lopsided. Um, so obviously you're not going to trade one for one, but in any case, so for those depth guys like Dobson and we had Carrier. Who else did we have? Um, oh, Bouchard. So all of them produced pretty much the same points as him. So like, why would we? That's why I used them in the trade to get the first overall pick. So because they're not important. The rest of the guys had like a quarter of a point per game or better, and they have better potential. So I thought it might as well just keep them. And then the rest of the guys, they're not as important. And then also this allows me to afford bigger cap spending on the high end guys. So including picking up Hughes, the defenseman. So because Hughes as a defenseman was I think he produced like something like 70 points this past season in the game. Um, and so 70 points from a defenseman at a cap hit of like seven something million, that's pretty darn good. So get good value out of the highest, most important players, highest end, most important players, and then just go super cheap for the rest because the performance is going to be about the same. So, anyways, so that kind of explains it. Can we get rid of our garbage to get him? That would be nice. Who else do we have? We have Pylon, Pilon, probably. No other higher value guys. Okay, so we're gonna have to use at least one pick. Six. Oh wait. Sweet. That's a good trade for us. So getting rid of our garbage stuff that we're not keeping. Um, well, yeah, anyways, so for these low value guys, it's a good way to minimize what we're giving up. Next guy is Boo Butcher. So 20 points. What was his trade value? Hmm. Oh, now we got rid of the 6. So I might have to do some weird adjustments to this one. We'll see. No. Okay, so when I say weird adjustments, what we might have to do. Let's try this. Whoops. Okay, let's keep him for now because he's got higher trade value. We'll get rid of him. We'll adjust down and hopefully this is going to work. Okay, I guess not. So I think I hear thunder. So if for whatever reason I randomly shut off, it's a power outage, but um, okay, so then maybe it's just a force directly. Feels like too much. Maybe not enough. Huh. I thought for sure by now this would have went through. Perfect. Second round pick seems way too high for this guy. All right, then. Try to get a third. I've already put him there. Maybe I could have taken off guys and then reattempted, but anyways, it's close enough. All right, so as it stands, I think we have 6D. 6 starting D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So we've got our starting lineup already on D. Then yeah, now we'll see what we can do for Hughes. So those picks. So for forwards, I can fill out the rest of the roster in free agency. Ew, man, with our cap space though, it's going to be tough. So I think for that reason, what I'm going to do is use all of these. Oh, that's what they weren't interested in our picks, is because they're so far in the future. Nobody's ever interested in them that far. But anyways, like I was saying, or going to say, priority here is saving on salary, so we'll just see however much we can, give up all those picks because we'll get stuff back eventually. And to be honest, any amount that they retain is probably fine because 1-for-1 would have been honestly good enough. Ideally, it's going to be 500, or sorry, 900,000 to get his cap hit under 7 million, but if we get nothing even, then so be it. So I'll probably remove all those picks after we hit 900,000, and then we'll figure out what else, or however else we'll have to structure the trade to get them. If it comes to that, I don't know what they're willing to accept here. Or actually, what am I talking about? If it hits, yeah, 900,000, it doesn't really matter because that just means that we might have to give up more for the trade. And to be honest, any amount that they retain is better. So we'll just keep going. I think I'm just going to go by 50 from now on. So they retained how much exactly? 200,000 for a few picks that are not all that important. I think that's fine. Um, because yeah, like I mean, look at these cap hits. They're crazy for these players. 7 million for Connor, 6.3 for Hughes, 7.65 for Hughes, 7.5 for Robertson. Goudreau is like a high one, and then Lindholm and Gensel are crazy good value. Um, yeah, and so all things considered, 7.65 for a guy that produces. So yeah, it was 70 points exactly from a defenseman is just nuts. So um, yeah, so that sorts that out. We got Butcher 2. Okay, so we have one, two, three, four, five, six of our top six. So we've got our top six sorted out. We've got our guy that can move up to the top two lines, probably. In that guy. And then, so now we need to round out our forwards, and then we need one depth defenseman because we only have the six and we need seven. Barry's a guy we could have gotten rid of, but 39 points and 78 is a bit more promising than the other guys. Theodore was low, 32 and 82. Cider, 32 and 77. But I mean, Cider for sure. I mean, ideally, we're keeping, mind you, actually, isn't he one of the guys that, yeah, so we've got a bunch of guys to extend and we don't know what they're going to ask for. So, um, anyways, let's save that. I'm going to step away for 2 minutes. I'll be right back after this is done. Okay, back. Um, all right. So, owner willingness to move, some willingness to move. It's an expansion franchise. Why? Where would you go? Surprised that's actually there. Um, all right. So, let's go check scouts. Hopefully some good ones. There are no good scouts. So we're not hiring any scouts. Coaches. Now I don't know what's going on with the coach spending because it said that we've spent our max, and I don't know if it's going to let us spend more. Um, sure hope it will, because I don't want to get screwed on coaches again. Um, 4.187, that's expensive. There, that's what we're looking for. So he's the only guy. He's pretty good too. Three teams are going for him though. Well, anyways, so he's going to be good enough for our head coach. What's his strategy? Roll all pairings, roll three lines. That's perfect. Passive box is okay. Aggressive, aggressive. Tight points good. Overload carry, yeah. So actually, I think he's going to be perfect. Oh, we should interview. Find out about duration. Small change in duration. What's his strategy? That doesn't even tell me. Okay, so let's put that. And I guess before we do anything else, I should see what else is out there. Now, I do have concerns about our money available. We only have 2.6. So I might have to wait till next season to hire the rest of my coaching staff. So the priority is to get that head coach. And apparently we have the space. It says available funds here 0, but it allows us to spend over with players. So I'm assuming it allows us to um, hire another coach. I just want to see if there's anybody we're going to miss out on if we wait, at least at this point. Too expensive. Too expensive. Not what we're looking for. Three teams are interested, and he's perfect. But it says we don't have the space. Hmm. And I don't want to gamble and not get the head coach because that's an absolute priority. So I think I have to wait. What's the total? So that's 2.7, almost 2.8. 2.6. So I have no choice but to wait. So I'm going to miss out on a coach that I would otherwise want to get, I think. Yeah, because I can't gamble and not get the head coach. He's too important. It's too bad though. Okay, and then otherwise, I don't think anything else is going to be all that critical. We can wait just out of interest if there's anything else. This guy's not bad. We could theoretically afford him. NHL assistant coach. Yeah, he's a guy we had before. Okay, so then if we have enough money to sign that head coach, then we would also therefore have enough to sign this guy. Um, we want him as AHL head coach. He wants 3 years. $7.52. Hmm. Do I even do it? Well, he's our best option at the moment. We can always re-sign him next year for a longer duration. At least to have him in our organization is, I think, a smart start. Okay, so then you'll be AHL head coach. And that means we need to move you down to that, and you down to that. That's all I trust I can do for the moment. Oh, shoot. Glad I looked again. Okay, so the best we can do for coaching is done. After we theoretically get these two coaches, then we can attempt other coaches, and then if we can get them, great. If we can't, then we just wait to the start of next season when the budget becomes available, and then we go and hire people again. Whatever's available, hopefully stuff will be available, but just have no choice. Um, okay, so where are we at now? All right, let's see about extensions. Landholm wants to extend 8 point whatever. He's a UFA at the end, so as much as I wanted to keep Lindholm, it looks like we're gonna have to trade him. 8.9. No budging either. They're both UFAs, so we have to trade them this year. That sucks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, and that's gonna eat up our cap space. Oh, that sucks. Huh. Cider 7.2. 6.3 is a bit more reasonable. Because then that goes down to 5.8-ish for 3 years. That's reasonable. 6.1. How much are you getting paid? 4.2. Here I was thinking that we'd be able to keep the same squad together for a bit, but only on the highest end, I guess. 3 million. No way. 2 million. No way. Um, those guys we can have expire because the cap hit is our priority at the moment for them. So, what's the story for goalies? Swayman won't let us offer 9 million Fleury. See how good it was that we got his contract down to 1.75, but he's gonna expire too. Wow. What's the trade value? Because it might be better to trade Fleury than to just let it expire. And then the guys we just picked up, those are super cheap, so yeah, we'll keep them. Oh, but what are we gonna do now? Home Gensel. And we have no cap space. That's the problem. We're already in a tough spot. Terry 8.7. Hintz 5.85. 60 points. 50 points. 7. 67. I think he was, yeah, pretty close to long term. Keller's not a bad option. Not ideal, but um, we don't really have much of a choice. Never checked Schmaltz. What's his story? Nah. Martian 6.1, but I think oh, he's got one other year. We could trade both of them for Marchand. He's old though. That one's tough. Would I prefer? Yeah, I think I would prefer Keller. Cousins 7.5. So I'm only looking at forwards. I should just filter. Jarvis. 63. At 5.4 is pretty good. How many years left? 2. Not ideal, but 63. So he's an option. We might just be stuck with 71 Teravainen. Maybe. Oh, how many years? Oh, only one. Yeah, we might be stuck where our team's gonna change multiple times in the next few years. Huh. 56. Oh, I thought Kane was gonna go to free agency. 'Cause I think this was the year that he did. I'm surprised they re-signed him. Strom, no. Landeskog, 68. 7 million, 6 years. That's quite good. He's a good option. He's a guy I was considering before, but I thought he didn't perform this well. 68 points isn't bad. Nobody there. We could go back and get Forsberg. He only has 2 years left, right? Oh no, we extended him. I think I still like the other. Well, at least I like, what's his points? 71 versus 68. I'm gonna add him to the list because 7.75 is a bit expensive. In any case, that's Big Thunder. Reinhardt. Give me 1 sec. Be right back. Okay, back. I didn't realize he does have X Factor things. Well, these guys are cheap. 50 points. No, not for him. $63. Too expensive. Versus the alternatives, at least. Strider, 60 points. 6.5, that's quite good for him. $32. I'll consider him. So it's right at this point, I kind of prefer cap hit over necessarily being an ideal player in age and all that kind of stuff. So we'll consider him. What's his story? Is he injured the whole season? 7.5 for Stützle. 7.5 is too much. Sorry, I keep disappearing. I got this really annoying fly that I want to swat down. Hmm. 73. 7.9 is too much. $73. 2 years. Oh yeah, Shifley. But I think he's only got 1 year. Yeah, that sucks. Two years at 6. Hmm. Well, we've got some options. He's got 4 years. How much did Landeskog have? 6 years. $68. 67. I kind of like the term, the fact that we would have term at a reasonable cap hit for both Kreider and Landeskog. Forsberg's more expensive, has slightly more term. And then the other options, I just don't know if I like the combination of duration and cap hit. They don't want any of our guys. The Rangers want anybody? Everybody. Just thinking, what does Colorado even want? Um, We don't really want anything. Okay, so we know we're gonna get Kreider, I think. For Gensel. I don't think we can get a first. Let's see. 2 seconds. What's his player type anyways? Power forward. Yikes. Not very good, but I mean, it's fine. Um, we might not be able to go for Landeskog just because trade mix doesn't seem to be good. Same with Forsberg. How many years is it again? 5. Huh. Trade and try to sign Scheifele. 82 points. You can always retrade him. We'll lose value in the trade, I'm sure, but what? No way. Huh. Scheifele's a good choice. No way. Man, and we won't be able to get Landeskog. Pedersen's expiring. He's already expensive. Oh yeah, he was expensive too. Man. Healers. I don't really want healers. I don't feel like I have much of a choice here. Well, I guess the other option is we trade Fleury to somewhere that wants him. Get something back. Then repurpose that for Shifley. And then if that doesn't work, then go to Ehlers or something like that. Fleury back to Pittsburgh. For first and a third. Okay. Let's just make sure. Don't want to first. Do we just go over to Colorado for certainty? I think that's probably smarter, even though we're going to lose on the trade. Because I would much rather get Landeskog under contract than Scheifele, I think. Not under contract. Oh, just a touch? That's it? Surprised that's already going to go through. I thought, no way. Well, I think we found our answer then. Sweet. Okay. Um, well then that's problem solved. I didn't think we would turn out doing that, but I'm perfectly comfortable with that. And so the other great thing is Landeskog can do face-offs. Um, so now we have how's Hughes? He's not that good at face-offs, but he can do them. So we've got one. Oh, because we just got rid of a centerman. So that means Landeskog's going to have to play center. This guy could be fine, but he's supposed to be on our third line. Um, I don't think anybody else can do face-offs. Connor's not bad. Okay, well, I guess Landeskog and Hughes are going to be the centerman. Connor is going to be a backup centerman in case of injury. Well, but Perot would come up anyway, so I think that solves that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, there's Kreider. Yeah, and he can kind of do face-offs too. His poise is 85. Landeskog, I think, was 95. So this might actually be a better team than last year. Um, the only catch, though, I mean, so both these contracts expire at 36, which isn't too old. It's within range. 36 is kind of the max. Actually, then, because we would trade at 35, and then they only really start to deteriorate at 35. So then the timing's actually perfect. Okay, well, again, not the original plan, but um, rather than extend people at stupid contracts, keep everybody in range, and you're golden. Sweet. Now, catch though, now we don't have Flurry, so now we need two goalies. We still need to round out our lineup, and we only have 14 million in cap space. 14 million for six forwards and one defenseman, seven players, 2 million apiece. Actually, that's totally doable. But that is a limitation like we had. Oh, and goalies. Actually, that's gonna be quite tight. Um, huh. Oh, I should say I'm gonna have to end the stream soon, probably. Maybe I can do another half hour, somewhere between 15 minutes and half an hour. What do we got out here? 2 million. 1.5 for Allen is quite good. 1.5 for Talbot. I like both of those. Is anybody young and reasonable? Really? Geez, I for sure want him. That's crazy. Okay, so our goaltending is going to be easier to sort out than I was expecting, as long as we get some combination of those guys. Um, okay, we haven't even gotten to taking a look at what's available. Um, what do we have to do still? So coaches, we did. Oh, I might as well scout for guys that were just drafted. See if there's anything out there of interest. I don't think. Oh, what about that goalie? Completely forgot about that. Trade for Wolf for the AHL. What's he's the same? Oh, but he's way further in development, so never mind. Where's that guy that was just drafted? I mean, I could have gone past. Oh, no, it's Wallstead. Could have gone past him. He could have been one of those like low overall future development guys. It's not look. Oh, this is the guy I'm pretty certain. Okay, so I didn't miss out at all. Okay, so no goalies from the draft. Let's take a look at players. So they need to be 18 and 80-ish or above with high potential. There's Bedard. Oh yeah, this guy I think was computer generated. 78's too low. So far, nothing. Which is good because that means there's nothing we would want to trade for and wouldn't have the assets to actually get. Yeah, so nothing. That's awesome. So we have no yeah, concerns about what assets we have to go and pick up prospects and stuff. Okay, then man, we're gonna be in tough. $14 million. How do we split up 14 million? So 2, 3, leaves us with 11. Um, 11 minus 4 equals 7 divided by. So I said 4. Oh, no, 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 no. Minus 5 divided by. Um, so 5 is 1. So our 7th defenseman, our 13th forward, our uh, 4th line. That's 5 at a million apiece ballpark. We'll try to do, which means 6 divided by 2. So we can spend 3 million. I should write this down so I don't forget. 3 times 2 for third line. 1 times 3 for fourth. 1 times 2 for depth. Um, 3 divided by 2 goalies. I think the math is right. Now, actually, wait, because the game always miscalculates your cap space. So I'm going to double check that because I might have more money than what I am saying at the moment. But 3 times 2 is 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11 plus 3 is 14. So let's go do the actual math. Because what it does is it fills out the rest of your roster with the current guys available, and that's not actually correct. Um, okay. It's stupid that I have to do the math and the game doesn't do it for me. 7.145 plus 8.225 plus 6.3 plus 7.65 plus 7 plus 7.56 plus 6.5 plus 0.865 plus 5.01 plus 4.285. Oh, I gotta trade Barry too. Forgot about that. In any case, I'll still do the math here. 0.95 plus 0.765 plus 1.725. And that's it. Equals 63.98 minus 88 equals 24 million. Oh, wait, we forgot. Goalie. Plus 2.85 minus 88. 21.17. So I'm glad I did the math. Let's just make sure that math is correct. 7.65. Okay. Minus 88 is 21.17. 21.17. So then what does that mean? Let's say 4 divided by 2 goalies. 1 million per for depth, D, and forward seems about right. What's that math? 4 plus 2 is 6 plus, hold up, 21 plus 6. So 15 million for 2 third line guys and 3 fourth line guys. 10 million, 2.5, no, 2 million per. Four plus two is 6. So that is, well, it's 5 guys. 3 million would be the average each. Four times two is 5 times 2 is 10. It's 5 divided by 3, 1.6. I think that's doable. Uh, 5 million apiece for our 2 third liners. Uh, less than 1.5 times 3. So that's 10 plus 4.5 is 14.5. Excuse me. 14.5 plus 2 is 16.5 plus 4 is 20.5. So we're under by 600,000. Okay, cool. So that gives us good ballparks, which puts us in a way better spot than I thought we were. Um, do I have other assets? Just picked some up, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so 3, 6, and 7. Do I use to get players or do I? Let's just see what's out there. If there's anyone under 1.5 that's somebody we want. How much was he? 31. .8. How did you do anyways? 33. Why would they burn a year of his contract playing him 15 games? That's stupid. I mean, he's not a bad option. How many years left? 1 year. Hmm. Maybe a smidge too expensive. How much value do we actually have? Hmm. Yeah, we'd have to like burn it all on him. That's not happening. Okay. 38's not bad. Playmaker. What's his historic stats? Hmm. If I can find anybody in like the um like 40 point range, I think I will trade for them. If not, then I don't think I'm gonna bother. 35's not bad. $49. For that cap hit, man, it's not bad. $47. Trade value's close. Bit high. It's not a bad pickup. 2.1. I think I should just try to get it in free agency first, and then worst case, I go back and trade. Mm, I guess I should have said what I'm doing. I'm just finding all the guys with good trade value that we're going to try to sign and then eventually trade. I think this is the last thing I'll do, and then I'll end the stream. Oh, the trade value did go down. How many more guys are there? Not too many. Well, I mean, this isn't anything that you guys really need to watch, but you can't even see what I'm actually doing. But yeah, I'm just writing down all the information of the players so I can find them. O, O, Tarnstrom. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna rate that guy. 4 more. So I think I've said this before. Basically, what I write down is I write down the player first initial, last name. Usually that's enough to find the player and know which one's the correct one. I also write down their overall and potential. And then this way I know for sure it's the right player. You could also, if you wanted to, write down their age. And then that way, like, there's no doubt when you're going to sign the guy that it's the right guy. But usually that's enough. Just first initial, last name, potential, and overall. Um, yeah, and then so in the next stream, which will be Monday, I'll go and attempt to sign all the ones that are willing to do two-way contracts right away. And um, yeah, basically just the normal off-season stuff. Um, so as I mentioned before, I don't know if I said it fully, but basically in terms of cap space, this is where you actually, I guess, do want to do the math yourself, where you take all your guys that you know are going to play in the NHL, count up their salary, add them together, and then, um, yeah, then you know the actual cap space because, excuse me, because the current cap space is assuming that all these extra guys are playing, but they're not. Um, and you're going to be replacing those with other guys. So that all these cap hits actually don't count towards what you actually have available. Um, or sorry, they add to what you have available basically. So in total, we have 21.17 in cap space. I'm going to target paying about 5 million per for the two other third line players we're going to have, and then ballpark 1.5 million per for the three fourth liners, 1 million per for the 13th forward and seventh defenseman. Actually, you know what? I should get an eighth defenseman too. Wait, so that's 10 plus 4.5 is 14.5 plus 2 is 16.5. Um, all right, let's change it for goalies. It's 3.5 between the two goalies. So one's going to be 1.5, the other one 2 million ballpark. And then seventh, one times 3 for 2 times D. Actually, you know what? Let's just put it back to where it was. Because I'm pretty sure no matter what, I would have two guys from the AHL that we'd be willing to call up for if we had, in this case, it would be 3 injuries to defense. So I just have to make sure that my depth guys in the AHL are good enough to come up. One for sure, and then two that are at least good enough. Yeah, so anyways, so that's kind of the split of spending that I'm going to be doing, so long as my math is right. Then yeah, our roster's changed a bit because other guys wouldn't sign at good contracts. Oh, and we have to trade Barry for an improvement on. Uh, so actually, that can give us cap space. I don't have time to do it now. That sucks. Okay. Um, trade. So yeah, I left myself a note to trade Barry for a low cap hit defenseman. So we should be able to replace him with somebody that produces relatively similar to what he did. And then if that's at a cap hit of like under 2 million, then that gives us another whatever it was for his cap. Another 2.25-ish of cap space to spend. Okay, so that's where we'll leave it. If you like the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, turn on notifications. The channel homepage has upcoming streams on regular NHL content. Nothing at the moment, but yeah, I guess I'll schedule something for like a few days into free agency. I think that's the plan. So yeah, just have a look at the channel homepage for when that comes up. For franchise mode, that schedule's in the About section of the channel, including any changes that I have to make. So that's going to be Monday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern for about 8 hours. Be a pros whenever I have time or feel like it. Any comments, leave them in the comments, suggestions likewise, and we will see you guys Monday to continue this series. Okay, bye.